Hello, let's go over the history of photography project assignment. So hopefully some of you have already reviewed this and spent the last 3 weeks or been making photos over the last 3 weeks, considering what you might submit for this project. But basically, over the last 3 weeks, we have covered many concepts regarding the history of photography. For this homework discussion, I would like for you to share 3 photos you've created in the last couple of weeks, inspired by the photographer you discussed last week in your proposal. I would like for you to make photographs that consider all the information that we've covered in this module. So that would be thinking about not only the videos that you've watched, but also there's a lot of really cool links in the timelines. And there's also other information in the quizzes. There's different things that I've kind of asked you to specifically think about over the last couple of weeks in kind of trying to have a better understanding of the history of photography and how much photographs influence the way that we think and kind of navigate the world. So I'd like for you to make 3 photographs that are important to you and have some sort of significance. You might want to make images that reflect something that's important in your life. If you have any questions about what kind of images to make, feel free to send me a message via Canvas and I can help you with that. You could even reflect and almost copy the images by one of the photographers that you've researched. That's fine as well. But I want them to be your work and I want them to be images that you specifically made for this class. This discussion post needs to be a minimum of 500 words and you need to respond to 2 of your classmates. And I'm really wanting you to respond more than just like 20 words. Like, I like your photos, they're really cool, dude. You really need to talk about the quality of light, the contrast, the subject matter, how it relates to things that you've learned from this learning unit. There's a lot of cool information covered in the videos. So there's a lot of content that I've given you that you can reflect in your essay post and in your classmates' posts. So let me just go over the prompts that you need to include. So I really encourage you to embed these images if that's possible. I know that that takes up some space on your cameras and on your phones or however you're working on this class, your computer, sorry. But I'd really prefer if you embedded your pictures, if that's at all possible, as opposed to attaching. If you can, I'd appreciate that. So you're going to embed your photos and you're going to think about the photographer, how that photographer inspired you when you make your photos. You're going to include 1 photograph by the photographer that you submitted from last week. So you can resubmit one of the photographs that you've already used, or you can submit a different one. That's your choice. I'd like for you to discuss how you feel kind of comparing the photographs that you made to the photographer that you researched. So, you know, again, that can kind of go in a couple of different directions. You could talk about why you chose that photographer and how that photographer influenced you. You could talk about the difference of the images you made compared to your photographer and why you chose to make your images differently. But I'd like for you to reference the photographer that you researched in your writing for this week in relationship to the photographs that you made. I'd also like for you to state your feelings around the subject matter. So why did you create these photographs? What about the subject matter was important to you? Why did you pick this particular subject matter and explain why? Talk about that. Also explain or talk about what you might do differently if you could retake these photos. I think part of looking at your own photographs is being able to examine the parts of your images that are successful and the parts of your images that need work. So I'd like to also see in your essay prompt you kind of critically analyzing your own work. So I really look forward to seeing these images and you guys sharing your thoughts about the process of making them. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email. Thank you.